Hello everyone, and welcome to the next installment of the single episode reviews. It's weird, but I've had this crazy idea about wanting to talk a little more about some of the bad episodes of the hit era. And one that immediately comes to mind that I know fans unanimously agree is one of the worst, I chose Don't Be Silly Billy.
Oh, and the bullshit begins!
A new engine called Billy arrives on the island, and Thomas is assigned to show him how to be really useful. But when he tries to give some helpful advice, Billy calls Thomas a bossy engine and thinks he already knows what to do. Thomas then chases him all over the island until Billy runs out of coal, and Thomas reassures him that he may just know a thing or two about being a really useful engine. So first, let's discuss the story. This was yet another one of the episodes that I had listed on my worst Thomas episode list, and fortunately, while watching this again after so long, my opinion has not changed at all. This is as simply basic as you could possibly get. You have a childlike character throwing a hissy fit at someone much older than him, who's only trying to help out, but said child takes it as being bossed around. To put it simply, Billy thinks he knows more about what to do and doesn't want to listen to anything that Thomas tells him. It's the equivalent of a young child thinking they know more than that of, say, a parent or an older sibling, which, to be fair, is kinda normal behavior, but still. My biggest complaint that I have with this episode is that of the strike formula. But this isn't your typical average 3-strike story. It's a 5-strike, which is much worse. This little son of a bitch had Thomas chasing him all over Sodor, and whilst Thomas is trying to get him to listen, this little asswipe not only left his loads behind, but continuously called Thomas a bossy engine. Not once, not twice, 5 times.
Thomas, stop telling me what to do. You are a very bossy engine. Don't tell me what to do, Thomas. You are a very bossy engine. Stop telling me what to do, Thomas. You are a very bossy engine. Stop telling me what to do, Thomas. You are a very, very bossy engine. Thomas, stop telling me what to do. You are a very bossy engine.
If there was one word to describe this whole thing, it's aggravating. And I'd say this is about the same level of annoyance as another equally noticeable 5-strike formula episode. Now, as for our new character Billy, I wouldn't go as far as to say he is the worst character, because there are much worse than him, but it is pretty clear that he is one of the worst. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've seen so many people have this crazy thought that Billy isn't a bad character.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
Everything he does in this episode does not in any way, shape, or form justify him as a good character. I've even seen some people say that he has a lot more personality than some of the other newbies. This is the biggest load of shit I think I've ever heard. You're really gonna try and argue that Billy has way more personality than the other new characters? I hate to burst your bubbles, but that is certainly not the case here. How can Billy have more of a character compared to the rest? Because, like the other characters, he falls into the same group of one-off characters with very little to no personality whatsoever. And other than a few traits, what else do we know about some of these newbies? To give a few examples, Molly is shy, Dennis is lazy, Freddy is much older and wiser, Billy is an arrogant little dickhead who thinks he knows more than anyone. What else is there to go off on? Literally nothing. So, I don't want to hear anybody try to make an argument that somehow Billy is a better character than most of the others, because
Newsflash, asshole!
he's not. If anything, I mostly feel sorry for Thomas for having to put up with any of this shit. If Billy were smart enough, maybe he'd want to get some help from Thomas. It's not like he's talking out of his ass or anything, like he doesn't know how to do any of these jobs. And I also find it very hypocritical of Billy to call Thomas bossy when he's only doing what SDH told him to do. Where's the remark about SDH being bossy, But nah, We're just gonna focus on Thomas. Yeah, screw you, Billy. Honestly, after the little twerp ran out of coal and water, I would have left him behind and been like,
"Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Let the little asshole get in trouble. Thomas shouldn't even be at fault. He tried to do what he was told, and Billy wouldn't let him. He shouldn't even feel the least bit sorry for him. Period. I guess the last thing to bring up would have to be Michael Brandon's storytelling. Same as usual, it's as decent as it'll ever sound, and it's still not enough to save the entire episode. I've heard some people complain that they don't like Brandon's voice for Billy. Again, I hate to be that person, but I would rather have this voice.
Don't tell me what to do, Thomas, huffed Billy. You are a very bossy engine.
Than a very bland, no distinct voice done by Angelus.
Stop telling me what to do, Thomas, huffed Billy. You are a very, very bossy engine.
Hate to be this brutally honest, but it's true. Brandon at least provides a voice that I would kind of expect to sound like Billy. Very young, naive, and arrogant. It's the best you're gonna get, I'm afraid. To conclude, Don't Be Silly Billy is definitely one of the most insufferable episodes I've ever had the displeasure to sit through. With a questionable story plot and an annoying new character, this episode is just awful. I'm still going to give Brandon the tiniest bit of credit where it's due, and I'm going to rank this episode a 0.5 out of 10. Maybe this is a little too generous on my part, but regardless, it's still a pretty bad episode. Sharon Miller, what the hell were you thinking?
This is shit!
I've been Yamite, and I hope you all enjoyed this review. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more reviews and other Thomas-related content. Until then, I will see you all in the next video.